The Rays offense has been clicking. Over the past 10 games, they've averaged 5.4 runs a game, slugging 15 home runs. Tonight, Tampa Bay faces a tough task as the Marlins send their ace to the hill, Jose Fernandez. We welcome you to Tropicana Field tonight. This is the conclusion of the Citrus Series. The Rays have taken the first 2 games, and tonight they will try to complete a sweep of the Miami Marlins. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to an evening of Rays baseball with Brian Anderson, Dwayne Stats. Great to have you looking in tonight as the Rays do indeed go for the sweep and a victory in the season series. They won 4 of 5 from the Marlins so far this year. And they'll send Jake Odorizzi to the hill against Jose Fernandez. Jake, after a couple of starts in which he has not been in top form, would love to finish off on a high note.
And he would love to get back to 500 because right now, Jake Odorizzi, you look at his record, he's 8-9. It's been an interesting year for Jake. We talked about the record. He missed 5 weeks with an oblique injury. A lot of this, too. Look at the ERA, 3.49 on the earned run average. Should be a whole lot better with the record, but he has also suffered from a lack of run support. So Jake Odorizzi able to put that stuff out of his mind. He's going to go out tonight and really concentrate on commanding that fastball around the zone. If he is able to do that and stretch the limits of the zone, he can have success. And guess what? He had better be very good because Jose Fernandez, coming off of Tommy John surgery, has 10 starts this year, and he has not missed a beat. You can see the numbers speak for themselves. The ERA 2.91 with a perfect 6-0 record, and he is one of those rare starting pitchers that is able to take plus stuff and combine it with very good command. Good fastball, good slider, good changeup, good idea of the strike zone. That's why he wins.
The last time he pitched here at the Trop back in 2013, he gave up 7 runs, 4 earned in his worst start in his young major league career. We'll see what happens tonight as the Rays and the Marlins square off. Kevin Kiermaier was at it again, time after time, an individual highlight reel as he was rocking in center field. Todd Callis has more on the excitement out there provided by Kevin Kiermaier.
Jr., Kevin Kiermaier getting ready on this Thursday night. Wrap up the series against the Miami Marlins. As defensive metrics go, they become better and more improved every year. And Kevin Kiermaier is putting together a season that has never been seen before about his separation from the rest of the outfielders and the rest of the defensive players around the league. They are off the charts. Kiermaier made another catch last night that ranks among the best. Here's Kevin on going through his top 3 catches of the 2015 season.
You know, on this one right here, it was, I really didn't know where I was at for the most part. You know, playing Texas, you're only there 3 games a year, and it was one of those where I kind of was coming down when I caught it. And this one, to get Machado, you know, I just jumped and was hoping for the best right there and caught it at its highest point. And, you know, maybe had a little bit of luck on my side. And then with this play last night, just kind of redirected myself in a little speed turn and knew I was going to have to jump within 2 steps, and, you know, I was happy to come down with it right there. And Souza had to get a little hug right there at the end to cap it off. So always feels good making plays for your pitchers.
You have a favorite?
I think the Machado one is my favorite. You know, just with that wall being a little shorter, I think it makes the play look a lot better than what it was with, you know, how far it looked. My arm was above the wall, whereas, you know, here at the top of the wall is close to 10 feet, but in Baltimore, it just makes it look a lot more spectacular. So anytime you can add some flair like that, you know, I'll take it anytime.
It's been a special year to watch Kiermaier play center field. Not only should he be a Gold Glover, he should be a Platinum Glove winner, best defender in the entire game of baseball, at least in the American League, which we see on a regular basis. We're ready for this interleague series to wrap up the Rays and the Marlins right around the corner.
Tonight, the wrap-up game of the series between the Rays and the Marlins. And Jake Odorizzi heads to the mound to make his 28th start. Rays coming in 77 and 81. And this Miami club at 69 and 89. Lineup presented by your Southern Ford dealers. D. Gordon will lead it off, followed by Christian Yelich and Martin Prado. Justin Moore hits cleanup again. Marcelo Zuna is in center field tonight. JT Realmuto will catch it at 6. Tomas Tolis is the DH. Miguel Rojas at shortstop, and Ichiro Suzuki bats 9th, playing right field.
And for Jake Odorizzi, it's stretch the strike zone. You think about establishing the fastball down in the zone, work both sides of the plate, then be able to elevate up and then work below with the split change and the curveball.
What a great year for D. Gordon, and he goes after the first pitch, fouling it away. That first pitch presented by Pinch a Penny. Odorizzi opening with his fastball. Gordon leading the major leagues in hits with 198, and a bunt attempt is missed, and the count is 0-2.
He's very aggressive too. You can see, look at the on base at 356 compared to the average at 331. He does not walk a whole lot. But I'll tell you what, he does hit very well and he runs very well.
This one is foul back a third, out of play. Yeah, the other thing he's done is hit well with men in scoring position. He's hitting .325, which puts him in the top 10 in the National League in that department. One ball, 2 strikes. He had a base hit, driving in a run in the 9th inning last night. A double in the first game here and a run scored. And a hot shot down to Loney, who takes care of that one unassisted.
Well, nice play by James Loney. And while we're at it, let's take a look at the rest of the Rays defense, brought to you by BMW in the outfield left to right. Sizemore, Kiermaier, and Souza Jr. And then across that infield third to first, Longoria, Beckham, Franklin, and of course James Loney with J. Pierre and Sebia behind the plate. Oh, different middle infield look tonight with Beckham and Franklin pairing up.
Here's Yelich. And he takes the fastball around the knees for a strike. Christian Yelich hitting .292. Takes this one. 0-2. Yelich will be very patient up there. He'll look at a lot of pitches down in the count now. And he's out on strikes. A 3-pitch at bat. And Odorizzi chalks up his first strikeout of the night.
And that's the risk that you run. If you're going to be a guy that sees a lot of pitches, takes a lot of pitches, you're going to give pitchers the opportunity to get the jump on you. And when you finally do pull the trigger, well, you only get one shot at it.
Base is empty with 2 outs for the veteran third baseman Martin Prado. And that pitch is a ball. 1-0. Well, our big matchup presented by Buick. It's been a good September for Prado. He pops this one into shallow right. Here comes Souza, and just across the line he makes the catch on the move. Just back of Franklin and Loney, who are also out there. 1-2-3, bottom of the first coming. Here's the lineup presented by your Southern Ford dealers, and John Jaso again leading it off as the DH tonight. Steven Souza Jr. in right, and then Evan Longoria, followed by Grady Sizemore, J.P. Arancibia, and James Loney. Bottom three, Tim Beckham, Kevin Kiermaier, and Nick Franklin.
Well, not a lot of holes in the game of Jose Fernandez. As you can see, a perfect 6-0 record, 2.91 earned run average.
First pitch swung on, fly ball back into right field. Ichiro is there in front of the wall. Fastball, and Ichiro a couple steps in front of the fence made the catch.
How many times do we see it, Dwayne? You know, we talk about, we're going to get a chance to talk to Derek Shelton later in this game. We talk an awful lot about this offense being more aggressive, especially when they're facing guys that have great stuff that are going to look to establish a fastball early. These Rays hitters do not waste any time, and that's the first pitch of the game, and Jaso made a bid.
And I don't think there's any mistake that since early August they've been a better offensive team than they've been all year.
By leaps and bounds.
Now Steven Souza Jr. will be talking with Derek Shelton in the top of the fourth inning. First pitch is a strike.
And Souza Jr., they're discussing it right there. Not exactly ready for that pitch.
A hard hit ground ball second. And Gordon makes the pickup and the throw.
Well, how about this? So the first pitch he was actually ready for, he swung at and hit hard. Let's take a quick look at the Marlins defense for you here tonight. Brought to you by BMW. In the outfield left to right, Christian Yelich, Marcelo Zuna, and Ichiro Suzuki. And across that infield third to first, Martin Prado, Miguel Rojas, D. Gordon, and Justin Bour with JT Realmuto back behind the plate.
Well, here's Evan Longoria. Takes the pitch wide. Already up around 97 there from Jose Fernandez. As you mentioned in the open, he had Tommy John surgery and back making his 11th start. Just 23 years old. There's a high fly ball back into deep left. Yelich will run out of room. That baby is gone. Fastball on a 2-0 pitch, and Longoria gives the Rays the lead.
Well, first fastball that was out over the plate, and Longoria tattooed it. Two bad misses by Jose Fernandez. He puts him in a hole of having to be out over the plate, and Evan Longoria got the head out and launched. Well, here they are again in attack mode against a guy with great stuff. Nothing new.
You know, that's the first home run he's given up to a right-handed hitter, and now the 11-plus games he started this year. Sizemore takes a pitch for a ball. It's number 21 for Longoria. One and one.
Fernandez still with tremendous stuff. If you look at his average fastball velocity in his very brief major league career, it's harder this year than in any other year. You know, he had 28 starts in 2013, 8 starts last year before having to undergo that Tommy John surgery, and then the average velocity on the heater this year is up, and it's up by a full mile per hour per pitch.
I think you could do that if you're 23.
I guess you can.
There's the breaking ball right there, and Sizemore out on strikes to retire the side. But the Rays come up with a run on the Evan Longoria home run. It's 1-0 Tampa Bay. Rays baseball on Sun Sports, brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. By Outback Steakhouse Curbside Takeaway, making your steak come to you has never been easier. And by Morgan Auto Group, Megan Morgan, we make it happen. Justin Bour, the first baseman, leads off. The pitch is upstairs from Odorizzi. Jake, the last 2 starts, has been touched for 3 home runs and 8 earned runs in just under 11 innings. Off speed, that pitch is fouled, so it's 1-1 now.
You know, he's put himself into some bad counts, and you know, you get into bad counts, you fall behind, you become predictable, and then bad things will tend to happen. That's why Jake, you talk about him stretching the strike zone, it starts with strike 1. You know, getting ahead and then starting to expand that zone, and he can expand it 4 different ways: up, down, in, and out.
High fly ball into center field. Not overly deep for Kiermaier. And that's the first out. One away for the center fielder Marcell Ozuna. The Rays and Kevin Cash, 77 and 81. So they've won this series. And the Rays' fortunes at home, not exactly what they had hoped for. A couple of games under 500 in that department, and winning this series here by taking the first 2 games. That's the first home series win since the the early part of August, the 11th and 12th of August, against Atlanta here.
And that is really surprising, because this should be one of those fields that there's a tremendous home field advantage. First of all, it plays to the Rays' strengths, number 1, and number 2, you know, it's not a place that visitors are jumping for joy to come play at. You know, it's just not one of those ballparks, and so it being your home park, you would think that they would have a leg up on the competition for a number of different reasons.
There's Dan Jennings, who was here in the front office for 7 or 8 years before winding up with the Marlins in their front office, and now in their dugout as the manager. Foul up the right side. Will it be playable? That's going to be out of reach. So the count's still 2 strikes. You're right about that. What should be, you would think, the home field advantage, but the last couple of years it hasn't worked out that way. Where the Rays at one time were pretty dominant here.
Yep. Yeah, and of course, then they played on the road much better. They had that 5-year span. They've been better than almost everybody. Maybe still better than everybody, where they really come together on road trips and play well, but not the same here at home, and that's a hard one to figure out.
It goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. One out, base is empty. Strikeout number 2, and him out in front. We got Yelich on a fastball, and Ozuna out in front of the off-speed pitch.
Yeah, and not the same kind. This is that split changeup, not the same kind of depth that we see with that pitch a lot, but he was able to get him on the change of speed. 87 on that pitch, just a few miles an hour off the heater.
JT Realmuto, the catcher for the Marlins. He lifts a fly ball up the right side. Souza Jr. with a run, and it's going to be foul and just out of his reach. I think he felt he had a pretty good beat on that one until the last moment.
Yep. I think that he misjudged how far it was away from him, because you're going to see him just kind of long striding like he's got it. Uh-oh. Now pick it up and dive. Just did not recognize how far it was away. If he gets not even a better jump and runs harder from the get-go, he gets that probably pretty easily. But he was kind of gliding there for a little while.
One and one now. Pitch outside. Close pitch. That's a ball, says Ben May. A young umpire, just 33 years old, out of Racine, Wisconsin. Count now 2-2 to the Miami catcher. Strike 3 call. Throws it with a fastball. 2 strikeouts there in the second inning. We go to the bottom of the frame. Rays 1, Miami nothing. For the Rays, time now for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use hashtag #SSDataStrongFan and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. Well, here's Aaron Sebia hitting .299 with 6 home runs. So he had a very good month of September. Rays and the Marlins opening October here. Big break there. And it's 1-1.
I mean, it looks like a fighter jet. It's just going, and then you talk about sweeping out of there and in a very sharp manner.
And then back with the hard stuff. Fastball 1-2. Jose Fernandez made his way eventually to the United States from Cuba and wound up settling here in the Tampa Bay area. There's a high fly ball back toward the line and left. Yelich is there reaching and making the catch and making acquaintance with a couple of fans down there. Nice to see you.
Very hospitable here at the Trop. Yelich, you get that low wall. First of all, the low wall that's in play, and then when you get into foul territory, it's really low. And so you make a catch like that, you grab a couple of nachos, borrow them, and then head back out to left field.
James Loney takes a strike. Down that left side again, Yelich. That ball is just going to be foul, and Yelich went down to see his friends again. Nice to see you once again. It's been a long time. Fastball just foul.
I mean, just foul. You see him go down for the slide, and that ball hitting, I mean, an inch or two most.
The first two pitches, Loney has kept Yelich busy. And checks on that one down and in. A ball, 2 strikes.
If you're a defender out there when James Loney is at the plate, you had better be on your toes because he is liable to hit that ball anywhere.
Switch straight back off the bottom of the stands.
And there's a great example and graphic showing that. How about that? Everything between 31 and 33.
Yeah, so, you know, we've actually seen some teams put a shift on for him. Do you think, how do you do that? I mean, this guy is, if there's one hitter who's the anti-shift,
yeah,
it would be Loney.
Yeah. I mean, the only reason that you may do that is because you think a lot of those hits to left field, he's hit in the air, you know, line drives, gappers. Most of the balls that he hits for hits on the ground are going to be up the middle and pull side.
There's a line drive into center field for a base hit. So, of course, he hits it right back down the middle and has a 1-out single. One on, 1 out.
Well, a breaking ball wasn't that sharp, and James Loney goes right down there. It's a great shot of that ball coming off the bat of Loney with that backspin. That ball was hit hard.
Beckham starts the night at 233 with 9 home runs. The breaking pitch to start him for a strike.
I'll tell you what, he's able to rip his fingers on the outside of that baseball. We saw it to Loney, but it kind of hung. That one to Beckham did not. And he's able to create so much side spin that it just takes off, and it's so late.
2. Fastball foul back.
You think about sliders. We talk a lot about Chris Archer's slider. Sometimes it'll resemble a curveball. It gets so much depth. We talk about Erasmo Ramirez, more of a sweeper. That's kind of Fernandez. What we've seen here tonight, the sweeping slider.
And strike 3 called on the outside corner. That one, 99 on our gun, 100 on the gun here in the ballpark.
Hard to get the bat going when you're able to paint up almost triple digits. We'll give it 99.5.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. You can see the range right there. Kiermaier takes a fastball low, 1-0. You mentioned Fernandez coming from Cuba. He came here and wound up at Alonzo High. Saw his first major league game here at the Trop. There's a shot hit back to right. That ball's going to bound to the wall. Loney's on his way to third. They're going to stop him there. It'll be a double for Kiermaier. And with 2 outs, the Rays have men at second and third.
Here's that breaking ball, and just like Taloni, this one just kind of hangs and stays middle of the plate. Kiermaier able to recognize and unload on it. One hop the wall out in right, and the Rays with a 2-out chance here with 2 in scoring position. Well, you're afraid there for a minute that Kiermaier was going to run right up the backside of James Loney.
A distinct possibility. It's Nick Franklin.
Oh, and I promise you that that ball comes off the bat and James Loney is going, oh, great. That's just great. I got to pinch run one time at first base with the bases loaded.
Yep.
And Tony Womack hit a line drive to left field. I had to kind of freeze to see what was going to happen. Left fielder dives, and it gets by him. And I had that feeling. I know that feeling. You're like, this guy is running right. I've never run so hard and fast in my life. And it turned out to be an inside-the-park grand slam for Womack. But the fear was, he's got a head start. I've got to hold up to see if it's going to be caught. Oh, no, it didn't.
And don't let him pass me.
Right. I don't remember. Once I passed second baseman, I don't remember my feet hitting the ground.
Cut the miss. You know, you continue to amaze me. Your parts of baseball history. You know, here you're on base with an inside-the-park grand slam. Tonight, the first interleague game ever played in October right here.
Okay, that's part of history I don't care to be around.
Just hanging with you. Pitch upstairs. Now it's a
first interleague game in October.
How about that? Yeah. The idea you want to play in October, but this is not what was ever meant by that phrase.
Not at all.
No, absolutely not.
Well, how would you like to be Houston and Arizona? Because they're going to finish up the season in interleague.
And Franklin is out on strikes, missed the breaking ball. The Rays leave 2 minutes scoring position. They lead 1-0.
Play last night, which caused Kevin Cash to say, you know what? You hear about running backs that buy things for their offensive linemen. Well, maybe the pitcher should do the same for Kevin Kiermaier. Guys, look at the SDI, the Sabre Defensive Index numbers, and they are off the charts where Kevin Kiermaier is compared to the rest of the center fielders. Keep this in mind. When they started doing this 2 years ago, Lorenzo Cain had a 12-1 to lead the league, and last year he had an 11-0. I know the numbers get confusing, BA, but just that number alone, the raw number, more than double higher than any other center fielder has posted in the history of that award. Again, it's only 3 years old, but he is really making a case. Now, 75% of the vote for the Rawlings Gold Glove goes to the manager and the coaches, but the 25% that's defensive metric related, Kiermaier's crushing it, guys.
Yeah, you would think that. Speaking of crushing it, your reference to BA,
yeah.
I think hurt his feelings.
No, well, hold on a second.
Rizzi grabs this and is out of there.
This goes back a couple of days. I finally got back on camera a couple of days ago, and Todd said, yeah, it must have been just like riding a bike. He started with that.
Yeah.
That's what he started with.
Yeah.
Fair enough. That's funny. I don't mind being the butt of the joke. That's great. That's good stuff. But now the numbers, as I'm some sort of moron up here, they can't put it together. Hey, I don't need to see the 26.7 to know that he's the best center fielder in the game. I get to watch it all the time.
Yeah, that's the eyeball test.
Yeah, but you did admit that you don't understand what the numbers mean.
They're so fabricated. I mean, one's a 26.7, one's a 37, one's a 32.3. I mean, who can tell? He's the best. He's the best in the game right now. Just be done with it.
Yeah, we'll take a look at that catch. and see what you think.
Yeah, what would you give this one for defensive runs saved? Is it like a 0.5, a 0.3, a 1? If there's 2 runners on board, do you give them a 2 and add to the 37? I mean, where does it end?
Yeah, and how do you factor in the degree of difficulty?
By the pitcher's reaction.
There you go.
Well, it's not. It is. I mean, the numbers may not make sense, but it is not all about the numbers, because Adam Jones has not been in the top 5. This year he is, but he has not been in the top 5 the last 2 years and still won a Gold Glove in center field. So you hope that the respect of the guys around the league is enough to carry him with those metrics.
Well, I'll tell you what. If he doesn't win a Gold Glove, then the Gold Glove award in my eyes goes down a few notches.
Yeah, and I mean,
really.
we've watched him every day, and I think collectively we've all seen a lot of baseball. His play in center field has been simply extraordinary. He has been. Here, take a look at this. Here's the defensive run saved.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Oh, it's up to 38 now.
Yeah,
They must have given that a full 1 last night.
and here's a line drive to short. Ichiro's out of there, and it's a 1-2-3 inning. A lot happening in a 1-2-3 inning there, folks. 1-0 Rays. Fernandez. We'll take a look at our Toyota trends on this young, hard-throwing right-hander. Look at that home mark.
It's absurd. I mean, no losses at home in 26 starts. I mean, you're closing in on a full season's worth at home, and you're 17-0.
Top of the order, John Jaso. Jaso jumped on the first pitch he saw in the first inning and hit the ball deep to right. Sent Ichiro back to the warning track. 2 balls and a strike to count on Jaso. Souza Jr. next, and then Longoria. Back into the screen, 2-2. Full count. 3 strikeouts the first time through the order for Jose Fernandez. A run on 3 hits. Ground ball right side, and that's going to get by Bohr and into right. Bohr just could not get down to his right, and the ball skips into right.
And it's funny, Jose Fernandez kind of looking out there. This was an awkward play because Bohr seems like he gets to it and just doesn't put his glove down. Just, I mean, almost ran over top of that baseball. very strange. I mean, I think if his glove does get to the baseball, he's going to go down. But that's why you've got a pitcher covering. With Jaso running, you still got a chance. He didn't even offer an attempt.
Steven Souza Jr. takes a fastball for a strike. Souza hit the ball hard on the ground to second his first time. A little wide. 1-1. Ground ball, that's going to go through the left side. Down to second goes Jaso. The Rays put the first 2 men aboard here in the third inning. It's going to bring up Evan Longoria. Derek Shelton will be chatting with the Rays hitting coach in the top half of the fourth inning. Everybody here hoping that the Rays can score here in the bottom of the third and give us a little something more to talk about when we chat with Derek Shelton in the fourth. Evan homered his first time.
First and second, nobody out against Jose Fernandez.
Yeah, you better take advantage of these opportunities.
Yep.
Rays missed one in the second inning.
Well, a 2-0 count, fastball, middle, a little bit of elevation, and Evan Longoria will give the Rays a quick early lead.
Another fastball, this one up. 1-1. Play. Fernandez back from Tommy John surgery. Got back in early July and then spent some time on the disabled list. First week of August he went on the list with a strain in his right bicep. Longoria is out on strikes on the fastball this time. Plenty on that one at 98.
Yeah, and he didn't shy away from using it. You see some guys, they give him a home run on that fastball, face the guy in his next at bat, especially with runners aboard. Shy away from that pitch. Jose Fernandez, not so much, and he's able to get one with enough elevation away from Longoria to close him out.
Grady Sizemore. Pitch a ball. Sizemore had a couple bases loaded opportunities last night. Cashed in on the second one when he doubled up the left field line. Cleared the bases in a 4-run fifth inning. Came into the game hitting .251. Ground ball right side, going to go through. Jaso's going to be waved home. Ichiro's throw back towards second, and back in there is Souza Jr. The Rays pick up another run. It's 2-0. Jaso scores from second.
Well, continuing to find holes. And Sizemore, here's the changeup. Middle down, he rolls it over, but gets it far enough into the hole that it gets by D. Gordon. Good hustle by Jaso. And the Rays extend the lead. And it looks like our interview is getting better and better.
Well, Jaso, 1 out of 2, has scored the second run. J.P. and Sebia. It's a big cut. The breaking ball. Into center field. That ball is going to drop. The throw to second and safe. Boy, that was close. Ozuna doing a pretty good job out there. And that ball fell in. And it was tough for Sizemore to read what Ozuna was going to be able to do.
Especially with him throwing the glove up like that. You do that because you're trying to deke the runner like you're going to make the catch. You know all along you're not going to. That's where you get spoiled with Kevin Kiermaier, because that ball off the bat, you say, oh, that's going to be caught. No question about it. And it's still able to flutter in there, drop in front of Ozuna, keep the inning going for the Rays. I'll tell you, Jose Fernandez, the defense not helping him all out a whole lot here in this inning. You go back to that first ground ball that Justin Bour didn't even reach for, and then that ball that flutters in front of Ozuna and didn't hit too far in front of him. And then a couple of seeing eye singles.
Well, another big opportunity. The Rays left men at second and third and failed to score in the second. They have a run home here to make it 2-0 in the third. Now the bases are loaded for James Loney. The chopper headed toward the middle. That's an out at second, and Gordon Stowe to first. They get the 4-3 double play, and the Rays settle for one. They lead 2-0 through 3.
Let's check the video boards now.
Tonight for Jake Odorizzi, leading 2-0. Our pleasure to have Derek Shelton, the Rays hitting coach, join us here. Derek, we appreciate you spending time with us. So far, so good tonight.
Yeah, so far so good, especially off a good young pitcher like Fernandez, who throws the ball, throws the fastball, has got the power breaking ball. So we've had some really good at-bats early on, which has been nice to see.
D. Gordon's going to lead it off here. This gives us a chance to chat about what happened in September. And one name that has drawn, I think, a lot of attention is Mikey Montour. Is this a hot streak, or is this progress with more time in the big leagues, knowing what you're doing?
Well, I think a little bit of both. I think he got on a really good roll, but it is progress. I mean, we've seen him at.
This ball off the glove of Sizemore. He appeared to be set to make a catch on a slide out there, and it popped away, so Gordon is aboard.
Yeah, I think we've seen him at different points during the year, but I think it's a credit to Mikey. I think it's a credit to our development people, the staff in Durham, because his swing's gotten better. His swing's definitely gotten shorter, and he's driving the ball to all fields, and a lot of progress. Really excited about what he's done in September.
Hey, Derek, one thing, I'm going to throw a couple of numbers at you. You go back for this team from April through the end of July, averaging just over 3.5 runs a game at 3.6. Since the beginning of August until now, it's 4.6 runs a game, and they've been even better in September at almost 5 runs a game. What do you attribute that to?
Well, I think a little bit. I mean, it's been documented that we kind of changed our approach. We had always been an organization that, had work counts and tried to see pitches, and we got a little bit more aggressive. And I think, the credit goes to our players, our front office, our staff. We kind of had a meeting about it. We talked about it, and I think the biggest thing is the players bought into it. And we told them we were going to take them out of their comfort zones a little bit, and we have, and we've seen good results. And we've seen good results with individual players. So I think that's probably the biggest point.
Is it as basic? Oh, here goes a runner, pitches a strike, and the throw down, going to get him. He is out at second base. Beckham taking the throw. And Gordon is caught stealing for the 19th time this year after reaching on the error charge to Sizemore.
Well, there is no margin for error when you're making this play. And Aaron Sebia up and out with a bullet right on the bag. And a great job there by Tim Beckham. Yep, and he knows it too. Make sure you secure that ball and get the tag to the hand in a hurry. And he did just that.
Gordon walking off the field. The Marlins thinking about whether they want to take another look at that or not, and they've decided not to. Derek, is it as simple, hitting, they say hitting is the toughest thing to do in sport, and you, you're charged with trying to accomplish maybe the toughest thing to do in sport. Is this approach as simple as essentially hitting off the fastball?
Oh, I think it is. I think it's, hitting off the fastball, but I think probably the most important point is being ready to hit. And I think that's what we've seen when we've talked about changing this approach a little bit, is making sure guys are ready. And, some of our guys would like to see pitches and do different things, and that's the comfort zone that I was alluding to, is the fact that we kind of took them out of it and told them to be ready. And to their credit, we've had some success with it, and we've kind of built on it. And as you guys well know, and you see throughout the month of September, when you start to hit, it gets contagious. And then you get a couple guys up here that, who were swinging the bats in Durham and come up, and we've kind of built off it. So it's good to see. I mean, it's a credit to our guys. It's a little bit different approach than we've taken in the past, but I think the results have been really good.
Hey, Derek, talk a little bit about the development as a hitter for Kevin Kiermaier. We know about his defense, but I'll tell you what, the last couple of months, being out there every day, lefties, righties, looks to be looking to use the whole field a little bit more, but he has been fantastic the last couple of months. Talk a little bit about him.
Yeah, I think that's great. Well, first off, the guy's a Gold Glove, and I know you guys have talked about it. He should win the Gold Glove hands down. He's the best center fielder in the game. But offensively, I think it's one of those things that the more bats he gets, the more we're seeing him mature. And he is using the other side of the field. And I think it was one of those growing pains things. He needed at bats. He came to the big leagues last year, had a little bit of success. Guys adjusted. He started the year this year, had some success. Guys adjusted. Now he's adjusting back, and I think we're starting to see the complete player that this kid can be. And he's going to be, an exciting offensive player because of the things he can do on the bases, and to go along with the defensive player. But I think we'll see the blossoming of, quite possibly one of the guys that's going to be one of the best players in the game.
Well, there you go. Under duress, you've done a great job, and we appreciate it.
Well, that's what happens when you let Asdrubal Cabrera sit on the bench, because he doesn't know what to do with himself. He thinks he's coaching over here. He's got his fleece on like he's a coach. It's embarrassing.
Well, at least you know who to go after now.
Yeah, I mean, I think I can take him. He's kind of an older player now. I think I can get him.
And if we let you go now, his back is still to you.
Yeah, I'll get him. Yeah, I'll cheap shot him. There's no doubt about that.
Derek, we appreciate the visit. Thanks so much for coming on with us.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, Derek Shelton, the Rays hitting coach, with us here in the top of the fourth. 2 gone. Martin Prado is the hitter with a count of now 3-2, facing Jake Odorizzi. Base is empty, 2 away. And he fouls the high fastball. Got a little piece of that, forcing another 3-2 pitch.
Well, and that's where Odorizzi, if he is confident that this particular hitter, whoever it may be, is going to go after that fastball, then you can go up an inch or two. They swung at that one. They're in swing mode. You can get them to swing at one just a hair taller than that.
A little tapper foul on the change.
Have not seen the same kind of fade and finish to the changeup here tonight, and really, quite frankly, the last couple of starts from Odorizzi as we have seen for the majority of the year. That ball, the change of speed has been good, but it has been staying pretty much on the same plane.
And this one taken low, fastball for ball 4. And that is, as we discussed briefly at the top of the show, that's a big part of his game, has been. You know, we talked about the high-low game and really in and out as well, but with the depth on that changeup, that really makes him difficult to deal with because you got to cover everything.
You do, and where that changeup becomes so much more effective is out of the hand. He's going to get you two different ways. Number one, on the change of speed, but number two, on the appearance that it's going to be at the bottom of the strike zone. And as you go to swing at it, it's bottoming out and going below the zone. And so you're missing it on two different planes. Right now, it's staying in the same, you know, in the same area. So you want to see that depth come back because it makes that pitch so much more effective.
Moore fouls it back now, 1-1 to the Miami first baseman. Yeah, we see, when we talk about pitching up and pitching down, a lot of pitches normally with that off-speed pitch, they'll swing over that and under the high fastball.
Yeah, and the pitch down, the off-speed stuff, when you want guys to swing and miss, what you like more than anything, to boil it down, make it real simple, is you want it to appear to be a strike out of the hand and a ball when it finally gets to the plate and you want the swing. You don't want the off-speed pitches to appear to be a strike and stay a strike. Those, you can run into some trouble with those.
Fly ball back into left center. Sizemore is there for this one and grabs it to retire the side. Man reached on an error and another one on a walk. One left. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Jake Odorizzi and the Rays lead 2-0. Family fun day when the Rays take on the Blue Jays Sunday. Kids 14 and under get a Raymond Halloween mask while supplies last. Call 888-FAN-RAYS or visit RaysBaseball.com for more information. Rays up. It's Tim Beckham. Strike the count on that foul ball. Pops this one back out of play. 2. Rays now with a couple runs on 7 hits. They're stranded 4. Beckham is called out on strikes for the 2nd time. This fastball at 98.
That was a carbon copy, and that's why Tim Beckham is walking off. This is the same exact pitch that Fernandez got him with in his first at-bat. That fastball right to the outside corner with the big velocity.
Yeah, the first at-bat was 99, called 3rd strike. This one 98.
Took a little off.
Kiermaier fouls it back. Strike 1.
Well, that's always been a wish. You know, if you could have a wish, concerning your baseball career, what would it be? And it would be to be able to just keep the command that I had, but to take out this kind of stuff just for one. Well, I don't even know if you could do it for one game. You could go crazy after that.
This one up the right side, foul. Yeah, it's got to be more than one game.
Just yeah.
I mean, if all you're going to do is one game, you don't even want to touch it.
I mean, could you imagine how fun that would be?
Yeah.
To be able to just paint at 96 to 99.
And then you'd be chasing that one night the rest of your life.
Well, I guarantee you that no one's. I'm in for 9. I'm not getting pulled from that game. I'll tell you that much. Be fisticuffs on the mound.
Nobody score. I want to pitch into extra innings.
Listen, I only got one game anyway. Oh, that would be so much fun to just rear back when you need a little something and give a guy 99 or 100. What a feeling.
This one off the mitt of Bohr. He tried to backhand it, and he kept it on the infield, but could not make the backhanded play, and Kiermaier's aboard.
Are you starting to connect the dots with me? Mm-hmm. Maybe that's why there was no reach.
Yeah, there you go.
And once he did not come up with this clean, there is no way you're getting Kiermaier. It's going to be tough anyway, because Bohr's going to have to turn and hit a pitcher on the move to first base and try to beat Kiermaier. But once that ball bounced up into the air off the glove, forget about it.
Well, the Rays continue to pick up hits. 8 hits now. Well, Fernandez. There's a liner hit the other way. That's going to be caught by Yelich, and now Kiermaier's going to have to dig to get back to first. And he gets back in there safely.
Well, how about this? That would have been, number one, Jose Fernandez. There has not been an attempted stolen base off him in his now 11th start. So that would have been the first attempt by Kiermaier. And instead he has to run 180 feet to try to get back.
And in his young career, 7 steals, 6 caught. And there's a couple of pickoffs in there, too.
Yeah, that is really amazing when you consider the fact that he's a right-handed starter. A lot of innings from a righty to control the running game like that, that's outstanding.
So John Jaso hitting for the 3rd time in this game. Up with a man at first, 2 outs in the 4th. Singleton scored his last time. Takes the fastball off the plate. It's 1-0. Ball and a strike. Fernandez made his debut in April of 2013. Was 12-6. 28 starts with a .219 earned run average. So takes it away. 2-1. Two and 2. You got to be ready for the hard stuff from this guy.
And Jaso has been aggressive with his swings on the fastball, and that's been recognized. Certainly Fernandez has seen enough of him here already in the 4th inning, the 3rd at bat, so he's gone to the changeup, and that's been the proper adjustment thus far.
Back through the middle, base hit. Tony Randazzo had to turn to get out of the way. Kiermaier motors over to third. It's first and third.
Went to the well one too many times. A couple of changeups, and then guess what? Fernandez makes the adjustment early to Jaso. Jaso then makes the adjustment to Fernandez. He left it up. Jaso is able to wait back, and he uses the middle of the field. Nice job by John Jaso with an in-at-bat adjustment, and it results in a single.
Well, here's Steven Souza Jr. First and third, two gone. A big cut and a miss. The breaking ball up.
That's the kind of breaking ball that gets absolutely launched. And Souza Jr. just comes up a little bit short there.
One ball, one strike. Fastball up around 97 and just out of the zone. Carry into the seats, bore over there, but no chance. Kiermaier back to third. He's 2 for 2 tonight. Jaso 2 for 3, back to first. Souza Jr. with a hit and 2 at bats and down 1 and 2 in this count. And is out on strikes. Breaking ball got him. Rays lead 2. They've stranded 6 and lead 2-0. Fernando Rondé picking up save number 47, lowering his earned run average to 0.61. Finished the year with the lowest ERA by a reliever in Major League history.
What did he give up? 4 or 5 earned runs for the season?
Yeah, it was 0. I mean, technically it was 0.60.
Yeah, I think it was 5 earned runs. I think. Regardless, it was either 4 or 5.
Yeah, unbelievable.
That's well, less than 1 a month.
Zuda fouls it out of play. 0-2, 5th inning underway.
Getting word. 5 earned, 74 and 2/3 innings.
Wow.
Major League Baseball. It was ridiculous.
This one fouled right back. Count still 2 strikes. Two. J2 Real Muto is on deck. And Tomas Talise is due up. Pretty close. A near miss there with a fastball. It's 2-2.
Very close is right. Look at that. Catching the bottom of the zone, according to Fox Tracks. One of those borderline pitches.
Fastball foul back. Jake at 58 pitches right now as he works to his first hitter in the 5th inning. A liner into right for a base hit. Couple of hops to Souza Jr. Big turn at first. The Marlins have their first hit of the night. They've had a couple base runners, but that's their first hit. And the first time they put the leadoff man on in any inning, with the exception of the error in the 4th when Sizemore appeared to have the liner lined up off the bat of Gordon and dropped it. So the leadoff man hitting his way on here. Now the catcher, Real Muto, he was called out on strikes his first time. No.
Jake Odorizzi's going to have to go to work, even though that's the first hit he's given up, because despite the Rays, and they've been busy offensively, but just 2 runs to show for it so far. So still a close game.
Now the Rays have 9 hits tonight. Fernandez through 4 innings. You know, he gave up 9 hits against Atlanta in his last start. So he's given up 18 hits in his last 9 innings now. 1-2. There you go. This ties the career high in hits allowed. There's a cut and a miss. A big strikeout after the leadoff single.
And a little extra finish on that changeup. This one's going to dart down and in. Watch Real Muto as he goes out to swing at it, and all of a sudden that thing just takes off and is able to sneak underneath that bat. Jake, eyes on target, finish out in front. And a tremendous result.
Talise. Strike 1. Marlins got Talise from the Texas Rangers organization. Counting the 0 for 1 tonight, he's 2 for 19. Fouls it back. The converted catcher, the DH tonight. He started his pro career on the infield, and they've converted him to the catching position with the Texas organization.
Boy, that is a position that is in such high demand. To try to find a quality catcher that can be out there every day or close to every day, at least the majority of the season. You got to give him a break every now and then, but that is a position that where teams actively looking.
Tough to develop. I mean, the Rays can tell you all about that.
Yeah.
And there's generally been a feeling that it's hard to go out and find a catcher somewhere else. Might have to develop them yourself. It's tough to develop them.
Right, and you'll hoard them. You know, an organization will hoard them. They may have 2 or 3, guys that may be on the verge, a couple of prospects with a good catcher in the big leagues, and they're going to hoard them for, top offer.
Yep.
Because they are so difficult to find.
Well, there's so much involved in catching if you get a really good one, beyond just sitting back there and receiving pitches. Such an integral part of a team. There's a liner into right, a one-hop base hit in front of Souza Jr. And Souza goes up to second base. First and second now with one out.
Well, that was a pretty nice job there by Talise getting on top of that. That was a 92-mile-an-hour fastball, and it was up right around the letters. You see him driving that pitch middle of the plate, letter high, but look at him get on top of it and able to line that ball out into right field. Kind of flattens that bat a little bit. That's a nice job by Tomas Talise.
2 on with 1 out. Here we go, Rojas. Now the hitter. He bunts the ball. Arancibia goes to third. Longoria tried to scoop the throw and could not come up with it cleanly. And the bases are loaded. Well, the Rays had it out for the taking right there.
Well, Arancibia, number one, got out from behind home plate and tried to grab that ball in fair territory before it went foul because he thought he could make this play. Look at him hop. Now he grabs a bare hand and just rushes the throw just a little bit. It short hops onto Evan, and he's not able to come up with it. See how he pounces on that baseball, but then the throw up a little bit low, rattles around, and the runner gets in.
So fielder's choice and an error charged to Arancibia. And suddenly the bases are loaded with 1 out for Ichiro Suzuki. There's a fly ball into foul territory. Sizemore makes the catch. Tag at third. Ozuna will score. And it's 2-1. Ichiro drives in the run with a sacrifice fly.
Well, and all things considered, you'll take that because Ichiro pretty good with the bat. He's got surprising power, and Odorizzi got him to swing at a pitch that was out of the zone. And so, you know, if you can get this next out right here after the fielder's choice, the error.
Yeah, well, what the error does is get this guy to the plate.
Yeah. D.
Gordon, who came in leading the major leagues in total hits. It's foul. Third base side, strike one. Upstairs, fastball. Now 1-1. Well, a couple hits, an error, and a sacrifice fly. Puts Miami on the board with a run in the 5th inning. The other thing on Gordon, we mentioned it earlier, he came into the game hitting .325 with men in scoring position. Fouled back, out of play. 1-2. And a base. Gordon out on strikes. Big strikeout for Odorizzi. That's his 6th of the night. We go to the bottom of the 5th. 2-1 Rays.
Using their Rays card as their ticket.
Game tonight and all season. Tires Plus donates $100 to the Pediatric Cancer Foundation for every Tampa Bay Rays home run televised on Sun Sports. Evan Longoria belting its 21st home run of the year in the first inning. Got hold of the 2-0 fastball and drove it out. Takes a breaking ball for ball one to open the bottom of the fifth. It's a strike, 1-1. 9 hits allowed tonight by Jose Fernandez, matching a career high. As we mentioned, he gave up 9 against Atlanta his last time out. Fly ball, right center, and that's Ozuna. Ichiro kept coming in from right. Ozuna finally called him off. 1 away.
Number 24, Brady Sizemore.
Grady Sizemore. I don't know. We mentioned Fernandez 6-0 this year in that game against the Braves when he gave up 9 hits in 5 innings. Also allowed 6 runs and got the win. That was a 12-11 final. And he lost to the Rays in 3 1/3, and the only other outing he's made here at Tropicana Field. He was back in May of 2013. Three and 1 the count on Sizemore. 3-2 now. Kiermaier and Sebia on deck. Sizemore fouls that fastball back. Very short to the baseball there at 97. There's a base hit. Dropping into left center field. Sizemore, an aggressive turn, but he'll hang on at first. And back to the bag he goes with a 1-out single. We'll go back to that start he made against the Rays in May of 2013. Kelly Johnson belting a home run.
You're just seeing pitches that are not located. You know, a hanging breaking ball to Kelly Johnson, a ball that was up there to Matt Joyce, a hit by pitch. Really the same thing here tonight. The Rays, they've been aggressive, but they've gotten pitches to hit.
Aaron Sebia skies the fastball on the infield. Rojas, the shortstop, makes the catch for the second out. And the Rays in double figures with 10 hits, just 2 runs, however, off Jose Fernandez.
Yeah, that's the right now. That's the storyline. You know, if you were to say, hey, 4 2/3 innings into the ball game, you're going to have 10 hits off Jose Fernandez. You're thinking, okay, 5 runs, 6 runs, maybe more in a perfect world. 2, and now it's a 2-1 game. A little uncomfortable.
James Loney takes a fastball for strike 1. Loney has singled and has grounded into a double play. Here's a base hit into right. Sizemore goes to second. So another hit for the Rays. 11 now of Jose Fernandez.
Now the Rays continue to find holes. James Loney with another one here. How many times have they done this? Being able to, this ball is another breaking ball that just kind of stays out over the plate. And Loney able to rope it hard enough to get it by Gordon out into right field.
9 of the 11 hits have been singles. They have 1 double and 1 home run. They got their first run on the home run by Longoria. And here's Beckham taking a breaking ball for a strike twice. He has been called out on strikes, one at 99 and the last time at 98. And well placed. Oh, 0-2. Well, he got down 0-2 in the second inning and was called out on strikes with a fastball. 0-2 in the fourth, called out on strikes on a fastball. And he's down 0-2 here in the fifth. Just got a little piece of that one on the check. Breaking ball, and you'll see his fourth pitch of this at bat.
Tim Beckham trying to think along with Jose Fernandez. What will he do here? He just came with another breaking ball. Does he go back to the fastball? And if I'm Fernandez, you don't have to be on the plate here. You don't even have to risk that. You can be off. Beckham's going to swing.
And the pitch drops low. So it's 1-2.
And you try to go down and away, and that ball out of the hand is an easier read because it started out down, it ended up further down. And we talked about his slider. It doesn't have the same depth of a Chris Archer slider. It's a sweeper. So when it's down, it stays down. You've got to sweep it off the plate if you're going to go with that pitch.
Fastball fouled away. That still had 98 behind it.
And see, now if you're feeling good about your command, you go with that slider. You start it where that fastball started. You sweep it 4-6 inches off the plate, and you're probably going to get a swing. He was able to get strike 2 with a similar pitch.
And he gets strike 3 looking on the fastball at 98. Rays get 2 hits, lead 2, and lead 2-1. Jake Odorizzi making his 28th start tonight. Racked up 6 strikeouts. Gave up a run. The Rays making a mistake, their second error of the night in the 5th inning. Meanwhile, they jumped out in front on Evan Longoria's 21st home run of the year. In the first inning, they've had numerous opportunities and scored their second run. The difference in the game now with Grady Sizemore single home John Jasel in the 3rd. Rays actually have 11 hits tonight off Jose Fernandez, but only 2 runs. And here we go to the 6th. Christian Yelich takes a fastball for a ball. 1-0. Yelich lifts it into center, and right there for it is Kiermaier. little leap to greet that pop fly into center. And Yelich is 0 for 3.
Number 14, Martin Prado.
Martin Prado. I don't know the count to Prado. A fly ball to center by Yelich. First time he's actually made contact against Odorizzi. Here's another fly ball to center. This one off the bat of Prado. So 2 up and 2 down. Let's check in with Todd Callis. Todd?
Dwayne, 2 outs on 4 pitches this inning, and that's one of the areas where Jake Odorizzi was hoping to improve on last season and the year before. 18.0 pitches per inning last year. This year down to 16.4. Now, he added that weight. That was a big topic in spring training. Strengthen the legs, but for him, he said it's both the physical part and the mental part. He's been attacking hitters better. He feels like he's not being as tentative around the zone, that he's really going after it, and he's not trying to get strikeouts with every hitter. He's not afraid to let guys put the ball in play early in counts. And the other thing, guys, we've been talking about offseason plans, and BA, you'll appreciate this. Odorizzi's offseason plans to go to as many Lightning games as possible before Christmas time, because he and his wife Carissa expecting their first child, a baby boy, right around then. Back to you.
Seems like a good strategy.
Not bad. Not bad, because then you're in lockdown. You are in lockdown. Midnight feeding, 3 a.m. feeding, 6 a.m. round the clock you go.
So what are you going to do before December?
Lots of Browns games. Lots of Cleveland Browns games, and lots of college football. Soak that in and then get on the same schedule.
And Sebia takes care of the high pop foul off the bat of Justin Moore. 1, 2, 3 in the 6th. Go the Marlins. Bottom of the inning coming. Rays 2. Marlins 1. By Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Checkers, epic meals, epic deals. Kevin Kiermaier goes after the first pitch and misses strike 1. Bottom of the 6th inning underway. Rays facing Jose Fernandez tonight. How about this for Fernandez? Through 5 innings, he's given up 11 hits and has 7 strikeouts, and had made just 85 pitches through 5 innings.
Well, hold on, Dwayne. Let me Let me figure that out. No, listen, I mean, think if we just do some simple math, 15 outs, 11 hits, 26 actions, haven't been any walks. So 26 actions, 85 pitches, that's about 3.267, 3.3, let's say, round up, 3.3 pitches per action. I mean, that's just getting after it.
It's almost as impressive as you doing all that math in your head like that.
I'm sharp. Listen, there were 3.5 games till the end of the season left. And it's been the year of math, and the skills have been sharpened.
I think so. Really impressed.
So think about that. So then you go back to the strikeouts that you mentioned. By rule, you have to throw at least 3 pitches to get a strikeout.
Down to third, backhanded by Prado. Throw to first, and Kiermaier's out third to first.
It looked like Justin Bour came from the Rays bullpen. I've never seen that route before from a first baseman. That was interesting.
Yeah, interesting timing. He timed it just right. Coming across the bag to take the throw from third.
He's had a couple of interesting plays down there at first base, but let's see as he's coming to the bag. Well, the way that it looked in real time, it was almost like he was coming from foul territory, trying to catch that ball and get off before Kiermaier sped by.
You don't have a lot of time to handle that baseball with Kiermaier breaking quickly out of the batter's box. 0-2 here to Nick Franklin.
And how much of a weapon is that for the Rays? Because he puts so much pressure on that defense. These guys know whether you're an outfielder and it's just a base hit, you got to get to the ball quickly and get it in quickly, or he'll take second on you. And if it's a ground ball, it's got to be in and out of that glove.
Franklin out on strikes. Breaking pitch, and that will be number 8 for Jose Fernandez.
Well, that's part of that quick work. I mean, he just goes right after you and puts you away. And despite the fact that the Rays have really pushed him around, talked about the hits they've had off of him, still right in this ball game.
Foul out of play. Jaso going after the first pitch. Puts him down 0-2. Swing and a miss. Jaso out on 3 pitches. Off speed, got it. 1, 2, 3, go the Rays. On to the 7th, 2-1. to say thank you, fans, for helping them to raise up for the community this season. And as a special thanks, all fans will get a Raise Up bandana while supplies last Friday, October 2nd, when the Rays take on the Blue Jays. Rays hope you'll continue to tell them how you raise up throughout the offseason. Hashtag Raise Up at RaiseUp.RaysBaseball.com. Jake Odorizzi out here. The first pitch to Ozuna is in there for a strike. Two. One ball, 2 strikes. That takes care of Ozuna. He's out on strikes on that changeup for the second time tonight. One away here in the 7th inning. Let's check in with Emily now. How are you?
I'm great, Dwayne. Hope you guys are doing well up there in the booth. Alex Colomé has been a key piece to this Rays pitching staff, whether it be in the starting rotation or coming out of the bullpen. It won't slow down much in the offseason. He will be playing for Leones del Escogido, a team in the Dominican Winter League. That will start in December. He said he wants to work on his command and location. He won't be pitching nearly as much as he does here with the Rays, but he said it's good for me because it gets me ready for spring training. Guys, how do you think my Spanish accent is? The money that my parents spend in Spain when I studied abroad, I think they're paying off here with Fox Sports.
I think so.
Listen, I bought in. I bought in. I had absolutely no idea that you were not native right there.
Oh, a base hit the other way by Real Muto. That one out single.
That was one of the biggest mistakes that I made in high school. Freshman year, take Spanish. Okay, it would have worked out well. Teammates, coaches, the whole thing, right?
Yeah,
So after the first year of Spanish, I decided to go a different route. Now I'm going to be smarter than everybody else. And the last 3 years, I'm going to take Latin.
Yes.
Yeah, Latin, because I'm a pope, apparently. We know that's not true. So why in the world do you go to Latin? Because so I know the roots of some words. I can't speak it. What a waste. What a waste.
Here's Talise. Little bunt foul up the left side. Et tu, Brute. I mean, there you go.
Yeah, and you, Brutus. Where can you use that? Just a bad decision among many that I've made. You like that?
I do.
You do like that.
I'm not the Pope. I haven't made very many good decisions.
It's been a long year.
Yeah. Well, a little tap and Odorizzi off the mound. He's going to take care of that himself by stepping on the bag. It's good that Talise put that ball into play. Give us something to do here. 2 outs with the catcher Realmuto moving up to second base. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out a way that Latin did help you.
Number 19.
It's a nice base in the language. Here you are using language to make a living.
I mean, I get by. Kind
of discern the meaning, the root of some words.
Not really.
They're right usually.
Well, I try to get in the ballpark. Sound smart at least.
Here's Rojas. But you're right about Spanish. You know, I'd do that if I had it to do over again.
Oh yeah.
There aren't many German guys playing baseball these days.
No, but even German is a better choice than Latin. It's not even. By the way, Latin was tough.
Yeah.
The fact that to conjugate all those, you know, and then to speak that language, oof, that's rough.
Well, I applaud you for attempting and seeing it through. Just the perseverance side of that speaks for something. 1-1. The count to Rojas.
You should have known that you were in trouble when there was actually no speaking of the language. It was just constantly translations. You know, that should have been the tip-off.
Yep.
And Spanish would have come in so handy.
2-1, especially when you had to play winter ball in Venezuela.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You talk about no clue down there.
You could have figured out things a lot earlier than you did down there.
Listen, I got a tip of the hat to Marvin Bernard because he was my translator down there. Without him, I wouldn't have been able to function for the first 3-4 weeks. Yeah, that was a, you talk about an experience.
The shot foul. Look out down there. Back into the stands, and let's check to make sure everybody's okay, and a souvenir. All right, good. Hey, those are those are Yelich's friends he made earlier. He might want to go down and check on them too. They've had a lot of action down there tonight.
It's been busy in the corner, no doubt about it.
It's been a fun time at the ballpark for them.
That ball was roped,
and they made a good decision there. Everybody's okay, and a souvenir. It's inside. 3-2. Ichiro on deck. Udo's at second with 2 gone. He thought he might have found a corner on that. Instead, it's ball 4 with the fastball. So we'll take another look at how close this pitch was.
Trying to go down and away with that heater, and he, boy, oh boy, just on the edge.
So Ichiro Suzuki is due up. Jim Hickey talks it over with Jake Odorizzi. Most popular way to follow the action of Rays baseball is with MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. Enjoy live look-ins, highlights, replay reviews, scores, StatCast, and more. Get the MLB.com at Bat app now. Two men on with 2 men out for Ichiro Suzuki. 96 pitches for Jake Odorizzi tonight. It's about what he's averaged per game this year, 98.4. 96 right now. Pitch is low. Two balls, no strikes. Line drive, base hit into center. Kiermaier charges. They're going to try to score Realmuto, and he is out at the plate. Kiermaier strikes again with his 15th assist of the year, and he prevents the potential tying run from scoring. Realmuto out upon arrival at the plate, courtesy of Kevin Kiermaier.
And it wasn't even close. Up, gun, on the money, apply the tag.
7th inning stretch time at the ballpark, and the Rays hold a 2-1 lead. what very well could be a save of the lead on this throw to the plate from short center.
Boy, and see how efficient he is. That ball in and out of the glove like an infielder, and that throw strong and on the money. I was actually shocked that the runner was sent, that Realmuto was sent, because you come around there. He was barely coming around third when Kiermaier got that ball in shallow center field, and so an accurate throw was going to get him. We know he's got a strong arm. Quick release. See you later. And oh, by the way, that's with D. Gordon coming up.
Yeah, there's no way that the catcher's going to score from that spot in center field on Kiermaier. 1 strike to count on Steven Souza Jr. Rays maintain this 2-1 lead. They're looking at a new pitcher, Jose Fernandez. Worked 6 innings tonight. Gave up 11 hits, but only 2 runs. He didn't walk anybody. It gives way to Kyle Barraclough. There's a base hit up the middle. Souza has his second hit of the night. Makes the turn, and the Rays put the leadoff hitter aboard. Souza had extended his hitting streak to 7 with a 3rd inning single, and adds another one here in the 7th. It's a dozen hits for the Rays.
Well, they've kept the pressure on all night. They just have not been able to plate as many runs as they would have hoped for. Jose Fernandez, you got to give him credit for making pitches when he is needed to, and that helped out right there. No walks, 9 strikeouts, and able to scatter a lot of base runners, allowing just 2 to score in 6 innings, and he kept his team in the game and with a chance to win.
I mean, that's pretty amazing. You scatter 11 hits in 6 innings and 96 pitches.
And really, it's that ability. And listen, 9 of the 11 were singles. And the ability to be able to go and get a strikeout when you need it really, really was a benefit to Fernandez tonight. Make the Rays play station to station, mix in a couple of strikeouts, and get yourself out of trouble.
Souza back in at first. In on Longoria. That fastball hit 96 from the Miami right-hander. It's 1-2. He was pitching at Double-A Jacksonville in early August and got the call. Made his major league debut against the Braves in Atlanta on the 7th of August when he was recalled. One of the 2 extra base hits collected by the Rays tonight. A first inning home run. Two and two. Count is full. Just slider to take the count all the way out.
Well, Barraclough is so focused on Souza Jr. over at first base that he's starting to lose out here on Evan Longoria.
Minor up the left side. Fair toward the corner. Souza's going to go to third. The ball bouncing away from Yelich. They're going to wave Souza to the plate. He'll score standing, and the Rays make it 3-1. The Rays have battled for runs tonight, and they pick up another one here in the 7th inning.
Well, you have a pitcher out on the mound that was paying so much attention to Souza Jr. I mean, holding the ball a long time. You forget about Evan Longoria, and then you make a pitch like that, belt middle, in a full count. He ropes it into the corner, and then Christian Yelich, that ball does not find its way into the glove, and that allows Steven to come all the way around and score and extend that Rays lead.
Longoria with his 35th double, standing at second in scoring position for Grady Sizemore. Sizemore, a couple of hits tonight. He's 2 for 3. Popper short left. Yelich coming in to make the catch. Back to second goes Longoria, and that's out number 1. Runner at second, 1 out, with J.P. Sebia approaching the plate. As promised earlier, we selected the Data Strong fan photo of the game. Tweet your strongest fan photo to hashtag #SSDataStrongPhoto for a chance to be featured in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. There's Aaron Sebia. Strike 1, pulling off the slider. Aaron Sebia maintains an aggressive approach up there at the plate.
He really does. And you hang one of those sliders, he's going to hit it hard. We know that he can tee up a fastball.
And he takes a healthy cut at that fastball. Mike Dunn up in the bullpen.
Remember, he's got this. He was up there in Toronto when we would go up there and take notice. Those guys just turn it loose. And kind of the way that he swings the bat, that same philosophy.
Well, the environment up there in Toronto in that ballpark, that's really encouraging to hitters. They tend to be aggressive up there. They may play someplace else and go there. Hitters love that ballpark.
And again, you combine the ballpark with the approach, and everything's signed off on it. It's okay. Have at it.
Bounce into the right side, and it skips by Moore. Here comes Longoria in to score, and the Rays pick up another run.
Well, it's been a rough night, rough night for Justin Moore at first base. We saw him early on not even extend the glove to go after a baseball. Kind of wondered why, and then he's had a couple of similar type plays, backhands moving to his right, that he just does not come up with. Just completely whiffs on that one. And that was a nice hop for him, and just doesn't make the play.
Well, the Rays, who had battled all night to score 2 runs through 6, have 2 runs in the span of 4 hitters here in the 7th. go to FloridaKubotaDealers.com and buy your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. At Tropicana Field tonight, the Rays concluding their series against the Miami Marlins, holding a 4-1 lead. Kiermaier at first with James Loney on to hit, and Mike Dunn, the lefty, makes his 72nd appearance.
Well, and in 53 and a third innings, has 64 strikeouts. Big left-handed fastball. Going to see a lot of it. There it is.
Only 2 for 3. That came against Jose Fernandez, who gave up 11 hits. Rays have 14 hits tonight. A looper into left. That's going to fall for a base hit. The 4th hit of the inning. Down to second base advances Aaron Sebia. 3 for 4 for Loney.
On use in left field, that 94-mile-an-hour fastball moving away from him, and he's able to flip it into left field. The Rays just continue the hit parade here tonight. 15.
Twelve singles, 2 doubles, and a home run. Here's Tim Beckham. Beckham ground ball third. Prado steps on the bag for the force play. No place to go from there. And Beckham reaches on a fielder's choice. 5 unassisted. Aaron Sebia out at third. 2 outs. Loney up to second, and Beckham now at first. Kevin Kiermaier. A couple of hits. 2 for 3. Now he faces the lefty. It's a strike to Kiermaier. Mike Dunn wanted relief in interleague play. Over half the runs he's given up in interleague play have come against the Rays. His ERA against the Rays, 6.75, and overall it's 3.28. Ball, 2 strikes. Base hit the other way for Kiermaier. Loney will stop at third and get back to the bag just in time. Prado went back to Rojas, who was covering the bag. So a base hit to left. The bases will be loaded.
And another example of Kevin Kiermaier against a left-handed pitcher. Use the other side of the field. This ball just kind of hangs up there. You see Dunn trying to rip that ball and get some break to the outside corner. It stays middle. It gets slapped the other way. Loney thinking about scoring. Gets held up. Now you better get back. A little tandem right here makes it close. But bases are loaded. The Rays just continue to just supply pressure. 16 hits now.
Well, the Marlins want to take a look at that call at third base. So here in the bottom of the 7th inning, we'll get Jerry Davis and Phil Cuzzi with the headsets. In contact with the headquarters in New York as the Marlins challenge the call on Loney at third base after he had rounded the bag.
Well, certainly is close, but remember this, the call on the field went the Rays' way, so there's got to be something clear and convincing that that tag got to Loney's shin before the foot got to the bag. On that review, it didn't look like it. Just nothing definitive there. This would be a good look. Boy, it is close, but I don't know how you overturn it.
Loney going to the outside of the bag. From what we've seen so far, it doesn't really appear that there's anything there to warrant overturning it. So we'll await the outcome. Rays at the moment have the bases loaded. They've scored a couple runs here in the seventh. 2 outs already in the inning, and Nick Franklin hoping to get a chance to swing the bat here in the seventh. Rays have sent 7 men to the plate. Kyle Barraclough started the inning. He's been charged with a couple of runs on 3 hits in a third of an inning. Mike Dunn on to follow him, and he's given up a couple of hits. And they finally decided that Loney can stay at third.
Second baseman, number 2, Nick Franklin.
So the Marlins challenge. Bases loaded now, and here is Nick Franklin. This is the fastball. Strike one. It's an 0-2 count. Cedeno and Riefenhauser, pair of lefties up in the bullpen. And that's strike 3 call. So Franklin out on strikes for the 3rd time tonight. Rays add 2. It's 4-1. 4-1 Rays lead. A couple of runs in the bottom of the 7th. They give them a bit of a cushion. They had threatened all night and had just 2 runs through the first 6 innings. Despite all the hits they had picked up tonight, overall they had 16 hits. 11 of those came against Jose Fernandez in 6 innings. 2 runs off him. Mikey Montouk is in the game in left field now. The Rays making a couple changes. Jake Odorizzi departs in favor of the left-hander Xavier Cedeno. Will be the top of the order. Left-handed hitting D. Gordon. 1 ball, no strikes. To strike, and it's 1-1. Popped up. Beckham starts out from short. Montouk coming in from left, and he's got it. Mikey Montouk handles that pop up. 7 innings for Jake Odorizzi tonight.
Well, he gave up 1 run in the 5th, and that would be it. Jake Odorizzi was outstanding here tonight against the Marlins, giving up just 4 hits, a couple of walks, a strikeout an inning, and 1 run, and what really turned out to be a pitcher's duel with Jose Fernandez. I mean, the Rays all sorts of hits, not able to score but 2 runs off of Fernandez, so Jake had to be just as good on the other side and just a little bit better, and he was.
Yelich taking a pitch down. Ball, no strikes. Cedeno following Odorizzi. Interesting about Cedeno, he's done a great job out of the bullpen. Boy, he was a great pickup by the Rays. His swing and a miss percentage is the best on the staff at over 31%.
I mean, he was gift wrapped to the Rays. Let go by the Washington Nationals. The Rays pick him up, put him in the bullpen, and he has been fantastic. A strikeout an inning. A lot of that goes to what you just talked about, the swing and miss percentage. Good hard cutter at 89 to 91, and then a really good sharp breaking ball.
And he just lost Yelich there. A walk with 1 out. And we'll check in with Todd again. Todd.
Dwayne, less than 48 hours away from one of the best promotional giveaway items of the year. Here it is, just in time for the offseason. The Rays Oktoberfest freezer mug, courtesy of GTE Financial, while supplies last Saturday while the Toronto Blue Jays are in town. And Chris Archer will make the start. And DJ Steve Aoki with a post-game concert. All that if you call 888-FAN-RAYS or go to RaysBaseball.com. When I was in Toronto, more attention to this promotional item giveaway than I've ever had at any other road giveaway item. They loved the fact that Rays fans were going to pick this up on Saturday. Back to you.
Yeah, definitely need 1 or 2 of those endorsed by fans in Toronto.
You got 2 hands, right?
There's a strike to Prado. Yep, frosty mugs in each hand.
Just do a set of individual bicep curls.
Yeah.
Till it's gone.
Keep you in shape.
Fill
quench
back
the thirst at the same time.
You're hydrating while you're working out. It's fantastic.
Yeah, just playing for a tie. By the mound, picked up barehanded by Beckham, and he got him. Tim Beckham barehanding that one as it just got by the Rays lefty Cedeno, and a nice play. Yelich moves to second, and Prado's the second out of the inning.
Boy, you're closing, and you know that you're going to go down with the bare hand. You see it right into the palm, and Tim Beckham made a tremendous play there. A do-or-die type of situation.
Well, 2 gone, and here's Justin Bour against Cedeno. Did he go? No, says Jerry Davis. What do you think here? Pretty close.
That is right. Walking that fine line. He's had a rough enough night. Just give him the benefit of the doubt there.
1-1. Alex Kiermaier busy in the bullpen. Ball, 2 strikes. Brian Morris throwing in the bullpen. Saw him in the game here Tuesday night. Moore waves at this one and misses. That takes care of the Marlins in the 8th. Rays lead it 4-1. Rasmo Ramirez will open the series against the Blue Jays. And here's what's coming up tomorrow on Rays Live, the pregame show presented by your Gulf Coast Honda dealers. We'll hear from the Rays right-hander, Rasmo Ramirez, and Orestes will spend time breaking down the Toronto Blue Jays postseason chances. It'll be Ramirez against Burley tomorrow, and our coverage begins at 6:30. Blue Jays beat Baltimore earlier. Or they lost to Baltimore earlier, beg your pardon. That's 6-4, the Orioles over the Blue Jays.
Well, as of the beginning of this game, their lead over Kansas City for the best record of the American League was down to a half a game. So they're going to want to come in here and win some games to try to get home field throughout. So,
yeah, so they still have something on the line coming into that series.
Yep.
We will not see David Price in that series, however.
That's interesting. You know, they're going to keep him out, have him throw sim games until they get to the division series. And so that's not going to start till Thursday of next week, not for a full week. So interesting decision made there by the Blue Jays, but one that everybody's comfortable with at this point.
It's Yelich in left. The matchup right now, the Rays will have Ramirez, as we mentioned, tomorrow, then Chris Archer in the middle game. And then Sunday, it'll be Matt Moore coming off another good start. We'll see early. Then we'll see Marco Estrada, and the Blue Jays yet to determine what they'll do here on Sunday.
And Marco Estrada, a starter that has given the Rays some issues this season in a couple of different starts. And Matt Moore, we wondered, would he get another start, or would he ride off into the offseason the 3 in a row that he has already had that have been fantastic to finish off this season? But listen, both he and the team want him back out there, so out he goes.
Souza Jr. pops it up, foul territory. Moore makes the catch on that one. Souza 2 for 5 tonight, the second out in the 8th. And boy, it's been great to see Matt Moore throw the ball the way he has. When you look toward next year, that's a big step in the right direction. And again, it would appear if nothing happened in the offseason, the Rays will go to camp with 6, maybe 7, could be 8, but let's say 6 or 7 pitchers battling for a spot in the rotation.
That Chris Archer, going to be right there, Jake Odorizzi, Matt Moore, Drew Smiley. Then you've got Erasmo Ramirez and Nathan Carnes and Blake Snell. And then you've also got Alex Cobb coming back from injury in the second half of next season. And that's just off the top of the head right here and now. That's pretty, that could be pretty special if everybody's healthy. And of course, we would have said that last year going in, not having any idea what was going to happen this spring training. So we'll see if that's the case. But if it is, boy, some options to pick from.
1-2 the count on Evan. See, those are great things you love to see. And the Rays pitching staff has been that way for a long time. Together, they talk pitching on the bench during games all the time.
I'm not convinced that they weren't talking about roller coasters.
Well, there is that. I mean, you've got at least one left-hander in there. So,
right.
Given that.
No, you're right. It is an absolute, it's a close group, and that goes from the starters right down to the bullpen. Always sharing information, realizing that they're all really, at the end of the day, have the same job, whether it starts at 7:10 or you come in at 9.
(3-2) lifted toward right center. Ozuna's there to make the catch. The Rays are up and down in order. We head into the 9th. It's 4-1 Tampa Bay. There is Brad Boxberger on the hill for the Rays as they carry a 4-1 lead into the 9th inning. Boxberger closed it out last night, picking up his 40th save, on for the 69th time now.
Well, got a chance to take the lead in the American League, and if he can get 3 more outs here tonight. He was awfully good last night, and last night against this Marlins lineup in his 1 inning of work, it was a lot of fastballs. He was fastball heavy. Let's see if he has that same approach here tonight.
First pitch hit on the ground, and a nice stop by Beckham. Throw to first, and Ozuna's out of there. Well, Beckham had made a fine play in the 8th. Makes another one here in the 9th inning on that hard hit ground ball.
Boy, ready for action, Tim Beckham, and that ball was smoked. Watch how quickly he's able to react, make the dive, and then get up and an accurate throw. Outstanding job by Tim Beckham.
So some nice work in the field by Beckham here in the last couple innings.
James Loney, you talk about right on the money, and of course your pitcher appreciates that.
JT Realmuto had a base hit his last time and sends a high fly ball to center. Kiermaier back to the track is there and makes the catch. So 2 pitches and 2 outs coming up on Rays Live, the postgame presented by Checkers. Todd DeRustis anchored the coverage. We'll hear from Kevin Cash with his press conference. And Emily Austin will have interviews from the clubhouse. Tomas Talise, 1 for 3. He's singled in the 5th inning. Pitch is upstairs, 1-0. To strike, 1-1. Boxberger became the 5th pitcher in Rays history to have 40 saves in a single season. Fernando Rodney with 48 tops that list. He's after his 41st tonight, Boxberger. That list includes Rodney and Rafael Soriano, Roberto Hernandez, Danny Baez. And now Boxberger up on Talise. 1-2. Just a little piece of that one. Talise, a pretty good contact guy, and he can be tough. He doesn't, at least his minor league numbers show, and a little bit in the big leagues. He doesn't walk a lot, doesn't strike out a lot. 1-2 the count on him. Oh, but he's out on strikes here. Caught looking on the off-speed pitch, and this game is over. Rays win it 4-1, and 1-2-3 go the Marlins in the 9th inning. Jake Odorizzi's going to pick up the victory tonight to even his record at 9-9, and Brad Boxberger closes it out. And for Boxberger, this is save number 41. Jose Fernandez suffers the loss, his first of the year. He's 6-1, and there's the call, 3rd strike right there at the knees on the change. So a very efficient 9th inning for the Rays closer, Brad Boxberger. For the Rays tonight, 4 runs, 16 hits, 2 errors with 11 men left. For Miami, a run, 4 hits, no errors, and 6 men left. Again, Odorizzi, the winner, 9-9. Fernandez, the loser, 6-1. The save, number 41 for Boxberger. Took 2 hours and 29 minutes to play this game before 9,657. Let's go to the field and Todd Callis right now. Todd?
Dwayne, thanks. With Evan Longoria, Longo, you sweep the Marlins. I know neither team's going for the postseason, but a nice way to try and close out this final week, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, we're just trying to continue to play the game the right way. I think we did a great job tonight. I mean, the guys are the effort is still there, and I think that's what you look for going into next year.
Pound out 16 hits tonight as a team. You just finished a September month where you averaged almost 5 runs a game. What's been the key to this offense clicking?
I don't know. I think that's one of those things where if we try to put our finger on it for next year and figure out what's working. But like I said, I think the effort level is there, and that's all you can ask for.
You get up 2-0. First time you see Fernandez tonight. You saw him a couple years ago. What were you looking for as you look at the home?
Really, all you can look for is something hard. I mean, he throws the ball real hard, and I'm just trying to get the head on front and hit some on the barrel.
I know how much you like this team coming out of spring training, and you couldn't foresee the injuries to Cobb and Smiley and others. Is this what you're seeing? You saw more the other night than Smiley, and tonight Jake Odorizzi. Is this kind of what you envisioned when you thought this team was really going to do something special this year?
I think our backbone has always been our pitching. That's where we've won and lost games. And the evidence is there. I mean, we have the guys in place. It's just exciting to know that we'll have at least 4 of those 5 guys healthy coming into spring training.
And for you personally, a nice finish to the season, and now 3 more games to go. You're pretty pleased with the way you've been able to wrap this up?
I'm trying to. I think everybody is just trying to end the year on a high note. And, we still have a chance to end the year at 500. So I think that'd be an accomplishment in itself with everything we've dealt with.
Thanks, Evan. Appreciate it. All right, guys, back to you.
All right, Todd, thank you very much. Rays win this one 4-1, and they pick up their 78th win of the year. Again, Odorizzi evens his record at 9-9. For Brian Anderson, Todd Callis, and the rest of our crew, this is Dwayne Stats. Great to have you with us. Hope you've enjoyed the telecast. Blue Jays come calling tomorrow, and we'll be with you at 6:30. Rays Live, the postgame, presented by Checkers, comes your way next. We'll see you there.